Hey everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see third-year quarterback Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans as they match up with the great Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. With that, let's get up to Green Bay, Wisconsin. Standing by for the call from venerable LAMBEAU Field, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, historic LAMBEAU Field. Fittingly, it butts up against Lombardi Avenue here in the heart of Green Bay, Wisconsin. We all know this community lives for its Packers, and the green and gold came out of the tunnel a short time ago, and it was loud. We are ready for football, so are they, as the Packers get set to match up with the Houston Texans. From up top, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles Davis, as always, with me as well. CD, defenses better be on their toes in this one because we got two quarterbacks who love to throw the football, and they throw it very well.
Over 4,000 yards each in the previous season. So what you're saying is, if you're a defender, hope you're prepared properly. Hydrated, stretched, be on your toes, as you said, because the ball's coming your way.
Mason Crosby of the Packers has it teed up, and off we go from LAMBEAU. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Deshaun Watson ready to lead the Texans offense, coming off a great turnaround season in 2018. Remember, 2 years ago, he missed much of his rookie campaign with a knee injury, but he led the Texans to an 11-5 record and an AFC South title last year. Now a first-time Pro Bowler from a year ago, Lamar Miller. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Set, 19. Strip the ball. Strip that ball.
On 2nd down, here's Miller. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
We got three, fellas. We got
Now it's Watson. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Jordan Thomas, the one he was looking for. That'll bring up 2nd down. And let's look here at the Houston offense.
Have no idea what they're putting in the food in the Martin household, but they've developed two terrific offensive linemen. Brother Zach, a perennial all-pro at guard with the Dallas Cowboys, but Nick, no slouch at center for the Houston Texans. He sets the tone for their offensive line. He's the pivot up front.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. And a peek at the defense for the Packers.
Safety Adrienne Amos was a free agent in 2018, and division rival Green Bay took note and brought him to Wisconsin to patrol the center of their defense and also drop down near the line of scrimmage and make some big-time plays in the running game.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, Watson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
4th down, so the Texans dial up the number of their second-year punter, Trevor Daniel. Trevor Davis, deep for Green Bay. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. The Packers take the field. Aaron Rodgers at the helm. 2019 marking his 12th season as the Packers starter. 15th season overall. Last year for Rodgers, 25 touchdown passes, just 2 interceptions. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the Pack up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll go with their leading rusher from a season ago. This is Aaron Jones. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Working from the gun. Rodgers out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read. Better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
The last catch took him 2 yards in the wrong direction, so now what can they do on 3rd? From the gun, it's Rodgers to Valdez-Scantling over the middle. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. DeAndre Carter's deep for the Texans. Great coverage there, holds him to a 2-yard return following a 50-yard punt. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating 1st downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 24. And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings. So pin that one on the rookie right tackle.
Remember those days when the right side was simply the run-blocking side? Now you're dealing with some of the better pass rushers in the league. It'll make you a little jittery.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Watson now to throw. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, it looked like a quick hitter, a 3-step drop, but when it's not there, what do? He elects to try and escape through the massive bodies up the middle, and he does so and picks up positive yardage.
On second down now, it's Miller, and he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
You've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the third down stop. From the gun, here's Watson. He's letting this one go for Fuller, and that is incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. The Texans send the punter out as he's on here to punt it away. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Now it's Rodgers, and that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. The linebacker, Zach Cunningham, there defensively to make that play. Quickly now, here's a look at the Green Bay offense.
It's tough to be an offensive lineman in Green Bay because their quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, knows how to keep plays alive and often extends them for 3, 4, 5, 6 seconds. But David Bakhtiari, his left tackle, he does it as well as anyone could ever expect. Excellent footwork, knows that the plays are going to stay alive for a long time. Often will get 2 or 3 blocks on the same play.
Rodgers will try again on second down. Caught on the right side by Jones. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll be third down. And a look now at the defense for Houston.
Many times as we open a game, we talk about guys who are drafted in the first round, but how about the undrafted players? In this case, safety Tashawn Gibson, who's made the most of his time in the NFL, becoming a starter in the league, and since 2012 has 20 interceptions, the most for undrafted players in that time frame.
The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on third down. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. He's going to look deep down the field. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. A good kick, 48 yards, 4 on the return. And possession will switch hands, first and 10. Watson will bring up the Texans here, first and 10 at the 33-yard line. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller, and he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
We're scoreless after 1. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Caught left side, Hopkins. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but
yeah,
no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And this is going to be incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
The Texans send the punter out as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And this is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at the 20. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Geronimo Allison, the intended target. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. From the shotgun, a give to Jones. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line.
Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. After the penalty, it's Jones. Deshaun Gibson there on the tackle.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
From the 36, Rodgers toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Geronimo Allison the target there, and it's 3rd down.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new-school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
He's got Adams on the hookup. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
He's checking.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
I think we can safely say that those types of players are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
The Packers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. To throw, it's Rodgers. Blanketed coverage by Houston. Makes it 4th down. So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
On now is Mason Crosby, who's hit from as far as 58 in his career. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. Online, but off the crossbar, no good. A long-range effort denying 3 points at the very end. All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
Well, now they'll start 3 yards shy of midfield after that long 57-yard miss. They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. He'll get 3 up to midfield. It's a 2 minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll check in with our Jonathan Coachman. He'll have highlights and analysis of the first half, and our highlights will likely be on the defensive side of the football here. Scoreless game, and he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
First down, Houston.
First down now, but that clock rolling. On first down, it's Watson. To the right side, complete to Miller.
Complete to Lamar Miller. He's out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. To throw is Watson, setting up the screen for Miller. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Automatic first down.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. A shotgun snap for Watson. They'll roll him out right. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
To throw again on second down. Watson to the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was looking to get it to his running back, Lamar Miller, and it's third down.
Well, we've seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown ground. And the Texans are in for 6. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. And the Texans take a 7-0 lead.
Makes the score Texans 7.
So that drive spanned 5 plays. And the result, a Houston touchdown. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Here's Aaron Jones in the offense trotting back out. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
On first down, Rodgers. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
Well, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with, some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
To throw again, Rodgers. The left side throw complete to Adams. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Rodgers in control as he hurries his guys to the line. This time they stay on the ground. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we've reached halftime with just the lone touchdown here. 7-0 is our score. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one's been a hard-fought battle to this point. 7-0 is the score, with neither offense really able to get on track. But let's not waste any time. We'll get you right back out to Brandon and Charles for the second half.
Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Tackle made by Whitney Merciless.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And this won't do it. He needed 6. He only got halfway there.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Here comes Carter. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this third quarter. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. On second down, it's Miller. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
To the right side and complete to Thomas. And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
The Texans send the punter out. He's been terrific so far. Returnable here for Davis. 12 yards on the return that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the Pack up 1st and 10 at their own 26. They'll try and get the running game going with Jones. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Let's get that ball here. Let's get that ball right here.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 7.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Zach Cunningham rolling in to get the sack.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Here's J.K. Scott now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. A big kick that time, 52 yards.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
And now out comes Houston. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at about the 32. They begin with a run by Miller. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right, he's pretty much been completely neutralized. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. And he'll find QT on the right side, complete. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. The Texans on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Play action from Miller. Now Watson. Rolling to his right. He may try and run for this. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The Texans send the punter out as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Good open field tackling there. A 50-yard punt followed by just a 1-yard return. And the Packer drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field.
And we've seen drive after drive come up empty for them, and they've yet to dent the scoreboard, yet still right in the middle of a 1-score game.
So this is where you absolutely have to forget everything that's happened in your previous drives. They don't matter right now. You just mentioned it. 1-score game. This drive here can erase all of what happened previously.
Aaron Rodgers, 3 fourth-quarter comebacks last year. That's the most he's had in one season in his entire career, and he's going to need another one right now. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
The loss of 3 on that 1st down pass play, now 2nd and 13. Rodgers now to throw. Open on the left side. This is Valdez-Scantling. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run. Even though this offense doesn't have a single point to its name, they're not totally out of this game yet. A touchdown here, they could be in business.
And how about that last play? Now they've got momentum going. So, I'm a big advocate. Get back on the line of scrimmage. Throw another play at them while you've got them rocked on their heels.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the gun, Rodgers. And that's going to be incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Here's Rodgers to throw again. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop.
It's 4th down.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. And the Texans set to come onto the field. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Here's Foreman, and I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Again, it's Foreman. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Watson hands this to Foreman. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. The Texans send the punter out as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. Davis now to return it. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. So now Rodgers in the pack. Down 7-0. 1:47 on the clock. They need a touchdown to the PAT to tie it as they come up 1st and 10. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Pass hauled in by the 6'4" tight end Sternberger. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Defense.
So that one will be accepted.
Automatic first down.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. He's back to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down.
That's a nice job right there, partner, because they were able to work down the middle of the field, working in the seams, because I think defensively they were guarding the sidelines, trying to keep them from getting out of bounds. They took what they gave them, and it was successful.
Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The sack there by J.J. Watt. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
On third down, here's Jones. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a fourth down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on fourth down. They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5, and he returns it here to his own 18-yard line.
Let's go.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. Down to a knee here as the Texans look to let the clock roll. Now the Packers going to burn their third and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now third and long. Down to a knee goes Watson, and that should just about do it for this ball game. So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And not all W's are created equal, CD, and this one came in shutout fashion.
Well, their offense certainly didn't need to do anything, right? They could take the day off, and they did. But the defense, they carried them in a big way.
Yeah, look, the offense, obviously stuff to work on, but they did enough, and the defense carried the load.
Well, you know what they say. It's always fun to work on things if it didn't go well in your game with a victory in your pocket, and that's what they've got going forward.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. From LAMBEAU, good night, everybody.